Hey everybody, welcome. We're going to wait for just a minute. Hopefully we'll get everybody up. We're going to have a lovely hello. Hi Michael, how are you? I hope everything's going well. Virgin, hi sweetheart. Harvinder, hello. Hi, we're going to wait a couple minutes. We're going to get everybody ready for this story. I hope we've all had a wonderful day. And, we're all ready for a really great moment of story time. Now, I've written this story. And to be honest with you, I plan to write just a short story. Now, when I get into the mood, hi everybody. Oh, hello everybody else. When I get into the mood to write a story, it's part of the ways, or one of the ways I express myself. Because as you start living in love and light, you have these urges to go and express yourself, right? And sometimes I sing, sometimes I dance, and sometimes I'm just like, you know what? I feel like a good story. So as I started writing this, I intended it for it to be a short story, but to be honest with you, I was like getting into detail. So this is chapter 1, okay? And we are going to call this story, let's call it The Tale of the Two Lovers, all right? Because you guys requested adventure, passion, love, and romance. So this is going to be one of those kinds of stories with a little bit of some cool stuff in it. Now, what I'd like everybody to do, if you are happy to join in me with this story with me, what I want you to do is I want you to connect to me, okay? I want you to look into my eyes, and I just want you to connect to me, connect to my heart right now. And you do that by simply focusing on me, okay? Focusing on me and with the intent to connect to me, okay? Because that way you're going to start to feel the story a little bit more. Yeah, we're all about feeling here. Okay, so connect to me to feel this story. Now, I hope everybody's comfortable and I hope everybody's doing well. There we go. I hope I can get some of these, if there's any comments here or not. I have no clue yet. Oh, there is. I'm sorry, I didn't see the comments. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, everybody. Hi. Sorry, there was a little bit of an error there and I couldn't see any comments for a minute. So now I see them. Hello. Ah, wonderful. I'm so happy. Okay. I'm glad everybody's here. Right. So, have you connected to me? Hi, Mary. Hi, everybody. Have you connected to me already? So, what you'll know, like, especially sometimes I give you a touch on the shoulder when you connect to me. And that way you got like a little buzz of energy going through you as well. So please connect to me now. Connect to me now so we can start this story. Okay. So let us begin. Oh, thanks, Michael. Goodness. All right. So I want everybody to get really relaxed, really nice and relaxed. Now, if you need to, I'm going to have a little bit of split, because that is how I tell a story. Okay? This is how I tell a story. I like to get really relaxed. All right. So hi James. Hello Hazel. This is the story of the two lovers. Now I wrote this, so I'm going to read it and interact with you guys, but I really want you to try to feel me as I speak. Are we all ready? Are we all ready? I just want to make sure everybody is ready. Luke Halst, I've never not been connected to you, right? If everybody is ready, can you give me a smiley face emoji or a thumbs up and just let me know you are ready for me to start the story? Hi, Tiffany, sweetheart. Let me know you're ready. Let me know you're ready, because I want everybody to be comfortable and ready to go for this here. So let me know. Let me know. Ready? Okay, excellent. Excellent. We're ready? Perfect. Wonderful. Excellent. I love it. I love it. I love it. Wonderful. Okay. So, since we are ready, the day it all started, well, It started with a kiss. The kind of kiss that sends goosebumps up your spine and racing pulses through your heart. A kiss that could stop time. And so it did. Now you're going to wonder why I started with such a tale. Well, it's because you need to open your hearts to the possibilities of love and light and the amazing power your energy holds. Well, this kiss started it all, but let's go back a bit further. Hi. For those of you who have just joined us, please connect. Look into my eyes and connect to me, okay? This is going to make this story a hell of a lot better if you connect to me. All right, so here the story begins. Two brothers walk into a bar. I'm just joking. I'm totally just joking. All right. Long ago, there were two lovers. Now, they were not your average lovers. They were more of protectors of hearts and souls, guardians of the minds and teachers of light. They had a bond like no other. Can you feel it? Can you start feeling it in your solar plexus? Now, I didn't give anybody names. We're just using he and she. So, she was a vixen, beautiful, cunning, and lethal. With spear or sword in her hand, she could slaughter armies. She could make men weep with tears of love or tears of pain. Her words were sharp and quick, dissecting your entire being with only a flip of her tongue and a smile on her lips. She took the form of both goddess and cat. Her agility on the battlefield was much the same. Stealthy and slippery, but fierce. Look into the eyes of a tiger or a lioness as they hunt. This was the same feeling you had when she looked at you. He, on the other hand, he was tall, handsome, incredibly strong, but agile and focused. With the body of a god standing 9 feet tall, and the glorious majesty of a beautiful horse. One that is free, strong, powerful, and holds such a grace, you wouldn't believe your eyes when you saw him. He was a man of his hands. His love always fought with a spear or weaponry, but he always preferred fist-to-fist combat. A master in every martial art. There was nothing and no one that could match his skill. The way he controlled the flow of energy around him. To watch him in battle was to watch a bird in flight, dancing with the wind while singing a beautiful tune of death and destruction. His body held words of power, written in symbols by the hand of his love. With these words, he manipulated time and space and would conjure into existence all manners of creations. Now, just letting you know, in this story, for those of you who are higher frequency, learn what you can from this story and apply it to your everyday life. Because there's a lot of good stuff in here. I'm telling you that much. Okay. Together, they were inseparable and unstoppable. You see, for they both understood that the world depended on them. Mankind depended on them. So why, do you ask, that these two beings, being protectors of hearts and souls, would be so powerful in battle? Well, because the world, although full of love, was also full of hate, greed, jealousy, and fear. The fear of the souls, this powerful collective negative energy, manifests itself into a being which we call, or which we will call in this story, the opponent. Now, the opponent took the form of every and all forms of hate, greed, and fear produced from the hearts and souls of each and every one of us in existence. The fear was so strong that a battle had been waging for millennia. We would win, he would win, we would win, he would win, we would win, and it was always back and forth. Each time the lovers gained ground, though, the opponent would switch tactics and approach from another angle, leaving each soul confused and vulnerable to feeding its dark sources. It built armies of terror. All the greed in the world, born from the fears and the hearts of the souls of mankind, took the form of a homunculus beast of fire and ice. When greed was high in the world, the homunculus would set the land to flame and then freeze it over, making crops wither and the ground cold as ice. All the jealousy of the world took the form of a lizard, large with steely cold eyes and a tongue like a snake. It had wings. We call this a Draco. It was always jealous of the noble dragon, but was nothing more than a slithering little beast of burden. When jealousy ran high within the hearts, the beast would come and steal your thoughts, making the minds of mankind go crazy with envy, unable to see the truth of their actions. This was destruction from within. And there were other minions and so on, far too many to count. However, all the fear in the world took the form of a pitch black shape-shifting entity, made nothing but of the pure indulgence of fear in all of its forms. It would come into your heart, your mind, your brothers, your sisters, your mothers, your fathers. Every one of you knew it. It would grasp and hold them hostage with its illusions, making those sick, afraid, exhausted, until life became so unbearable that the souls of mankind simply succumbed and claimed fear as their master. Or so that is what it wanted. It was so close to succeeding, but our lovers would always fight. So, going back to our kiss. "Babe," she said, "I need your focus for a moment." She was in the garden, crouched down, huddled over some thyme she had planted from seeds they found while on a mission in North Africa. "Why does my thyme never grow?" she said with curiosity and frustration. You see, for all of her powers, the growing of a simple herb, thyme, was always her true nemesis. He came over to her, dressed in loose and flowy pants, the kind you wear when you're traveling through the desert, but topless, as it was midsummer and the sun was fierce. He jogged over to her. "Yes, my heart?" She says, "Babe, why does my thyme never grow?" He says, "Well, probably because you never water it enough, or too much. Let the earth and your energy take care of the plant. Your focus is too high, causing it to either drink too much or too little. Be gentle, my heart, and be happy." She looked at him. "You are right. Of course, perhaps I do focus too hard. I do need to remember to loosen up a bit." He says, "That you do." He then reached down with his big arms and grabbed her entirely. She looked like a ball with her arms and legs tucked in, and his big strong arms wrapped around her like a baby. So she was like this. And he picked her up like this. She laughed wildly. Ah, put me down. He then spoke. 1, 2, 3, go! And he threw her. He threw her 10 feet into the air at a forward angle, away from him. She was not worried, however, of course, as she did a graceful split-second backflip and landed in a low crouch 15 feet away. She looked at him. "You little bugger," she said. Her eyes were bright and white like diamonds, but mysterious and cat-like. She looked at him with prowess. He felt the flow of energy, of her energy and stance, change from giggles to preparation to attack. He knew this form all too well. He readied himself for what was to come next. He was standing in a warrior's position now. His playful energy turned into a cool focus and intensity that would freeze a man in his tracks. Or really, the energy that would paralyze a victim in fear, leaving them helpless without even saying a word or moving an inch. But she was well aware of this and charged at him head on. She was wearing a light sundress of white that swished gently down to her ankles, light and airy. He couldn't see her legs, but he could feel her flow. He was ready. She was going to take him, she was going to fake him out at the head and dive to his left for a quick blow to the kidney, which he purposely left open to bait her. He waited and he prepared. Then, without even understanding what happened, she was behind him with her arms around his neck and her legs around his waist. She gently and softly says, "My love, you were distracted. Was it my dress or was it my breasts?" He was locked in a position that if he moved, she would be able to cut his jugular. It was a position that ended quickly in battle and didn't give the opponent much time to think before fatality. He looks at her, well, not looks at her because she's behind him, but he says, "My love, ah, my heart, it was both," he said, "but you are also distracted." He grabbed her by the ankles and pulled her leg sharply. She had to release or cause injury to him. Her legs locked tightly around his waist. He swung her to the front while her back arched backwards and her hands touched the earth. She came up, slowly of course, and held her hands around his neck. "So I was," she said. "So I was." She could not deny the look of him in his light, loose bottoms, and the sweat across his chest, the smell of herbs and spices, fruits and sweet fruits surrounded him. He was practically dinner to a starving woman. Okay, this is going to get a little racy. If you haven't connected to me yet, connect to me now. You're going to like this part. If you are around children, they should not listen to this. Okay? Don't listen to this part. Alright? But if you're a grown adult and you don't mind a little bit of sauce, then, continue listening. Okay. Alright. Her dress, thin, and the heat of her body sent fire down his chest. She looked at him with those cat-like eyes sparkling like diamonds. She was biting the bottom of her red lips. Like that. She looked up, closed her eyes, and kissed him. Softly holding his bottom lip in her mouth while he gently held her top lip in his. Their kisses were always like this. Simple, but so filled with passion and desire. A man or woman could go 100 years and kiss 100 men and women and not feel the same as in this moment. For the kiss was not just any kiss. It had held all the desires of the energies within these two beings. A simple kiss to them was a lifetime of blissful lovemaking to others. He gently took his face in her hands and brushed her long curly hair aside, exposing the nape of her neck. He moved his mouth from hers and gently kissed on her neck. They didn't speak a word. They didn't need to. He felt every core of her being shiver with lust and desire. He continued. He kissed her collarbone, her shoulder. Her lips were warm and full. With every kiss, an embrace to the skin. She opened her heart to every part of him in this moment. The floods and waves of pleasure hit him. He could not contain his excitement, and she didn't want him to. It was midday in their garden, and the children were nowhere to be seen. He laid her gently in the grass and slowly caressed her breasts and thighs. She did not waste time, and with her mind, he felt his bottoms come loose. She pulled him close and embraced him in such a kiss that the earth shook slightly. And he entered her smoothly. She cried in pleasure and whispered his name. Her words were powerful. Each time she spoke his name, the vibration of her sound hit his heart and ignited a fire so fierce, the depths of the earth were no match. She moaned again and again. With each moan, he knew where to take her body. This was his love, his heart. He knew her just as well as he knew himself. He could no longer hold it in. As she was reaching her climax, the energies were so intense. The intimacy, the compassion, the passion between them shone brighter than the sun in that moment. He picked her up while on his knees, and he spoke her name in return, every syllable dripping with the heat of his desire for her. And there it was, the beautiful moment of release. He held her tightly as she did him. "I love you so much, my heart." He spoke gently, but with such deafening truth. "You are my heart, the source of my love," she said in return. All of a sudden, she did a backflip and shouted, "And that is how you tackle properly." He looked at her with confusion and then looked behind her ever so slightly as he saw a foot coming out of the door located in the house behind them. "Yes, thank you, my beautiful wife. I needed to improve on my form," he said seriously but with a smile. Their beautiful daughter came out to them. She was 25 years old, the spitting image of her father, but with her mother's complexion. She was a master visionary and energy flow sorceress. She had recently just came back from an excursion following the Roman Empire's destruction. She saw the mayhem in her visions and used her energy flow to guide those who are lost to their heart's desires, peace and tranquility. "Hi, Mom, Dad. I just got home a bit early. Did Mom flatten you again?" He looked up at her. "Only because I let her, sweet pea." He winked at their daughter and looked at the playful scowl on his heart's face. "Where is my brother?" she said. Of course, the lady love said back in return, "He is in training on the mountain peak." His mind became cloudy with material possessions, so he has had to go to the mountains to find his peace. clear his mind, and reconnect with his heart. "I am sure he will be back soon," she said. Their son was he was skilled in electro and pyrokinesis. He had a strong pull to the beautiful ladies and new technologies and contraptions being built. He was 30 years old, handsome, and the spitting image of his mother with his father's complexion. They continued on with some pleasant updates about her chip when all three of them froze. The energy in the air shifted. It hits everyone differently, but in this instance, the energy became heavy on her chest, as if she was wearing armor of iron and gold, weighing 1.5 tons on her shoulders. He had the feelings of sickness in his stomach. It churned, and his body shivered. Their daughter flew into her heart in protection, going into her core so not to feel the trauma that was before them. The lovers looked at each other, knowing what was to come. They told their daughter to prepare for war, as the battle of the ages was swiftly upon them. You see, there had been a relative time of peace. The last war happened 3 centuries ago. The opponent attacked the hearts and souls of mankind with weapons of hate. These weapons were in the form of spells. Spells that could be easily repeated and easily reinforced by any of its minions. The minions would repetitively convey these spells to the world and watch as mankind would repeat them, unaware of the enslavement and entrapment that they were bringing upon themselves with each word spoken. The lovers had combat this before by eliminating the spells and bringing awareness to them so that mankind could counter these spells on their own, cutting off the negative energy power supply to the opponent. But since then, the opponent changed tactics and stayed low, nearly silent, until this day, when it re-emerged from its hiding and was in full force to bring mankind to its knees in servitude. Now mankind in enslavement. They were unable to feel this shift, but the lovers and the ones closest to them felt it and understood it. The lovers wasted no time. He dressed in loose armor of gold, and grabbed his spear of wards. He did not use it all the time in battle, but it was a weapon that could burn through the defenses of the opponent like a hot knife through butter. It focused his energy so intensely that he could nullify the first flank with nothing but his energy to paralyze them. He would take his shot when the time was open. She dressed in light armor of gold and colors of red, her long spear in hand and her swords and throwing knives hanging lightly upon her hips. She would gather their army of light workers, summoning them with her energy, and the battle plan, strategy would be created and ready to be executed. Prepared and ready. Now, once more, they play the game of life and love. There you go. That is my chapter 1. I hope you all enjoyed this story. Now, I have not read any of the comments. So please, if you enjoyed chapter 1, that will give me more encouragement to write chapter 2. Okay? Because remember, I do this when I get into my storytelling mood, right? But that was just like the tester. We can go really much further into this. So let's have a look here. Swords and throwing knives, right? Because she's freaking sick and she's lethal like that. Oh, I love it. So I'm going to read through some of these comments. Like, please, while I read through some of these comments, if you enjoyed this story and you want me to go through chapter 2, I'll write it. Like, because again, this is all coming from the top of my head and everything like that. But let me know if you want a chapter 2. Okay, so let's have a look. I don't think I have it. Oh, wonderful. Okay, good stuff. Mohammed, you say, are you a doctor? No, I'm a healer though. Oh, you like that whole cat analogy there, Amishtal? Yeah. Oh, I'm hoping you're liking it. Oh, wonderful. Virgin, it felt so real. Oh my God. Yes, that's why I'm telling you guys. Thank you, Virgin. When you like literally connect to my energy and you just kind of let me guide you through the story, it should feel like you're absolutely, like you're there in the story. And that's why I'm like, yeah, story time. Mary, you enjoyed it? Not chapter 2? Okay, wonderful. So we've got a few votes for chapter 2. I will definitely write a chapter 2 and we can go through that another day as well. So, you like the story? I'm glad you like it, Susan. I'm glad you like it. Oh, there's so much more to go through. Whenever I start writing a story, though, like I like to go in detail, or till somewhat detail, if anything, because, like, why not? Oh, Susan, would you like to come on board, Susan? Sure. Come on board, sweetie. I think you're on there. Oh, I'm glad you liked it, sweetheart. Susan, I have no clue if you're coming on board, Susan. That's cool, though. Um, are there any questions? You're waiting chapter 2? Excellent. Are there any questions? Because like I said, there is a lot of stuff that you can actually learn a little bit more about. You know, when we were talking about Jessica, I can see this story going further for sure. Good baseline for mystery, ancient history, and intrigue with dash of Xena meets Olympus. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mary. I literally wrote this in like 30 or 45 minutes or so. So yeah, all right. But many things that are there though, you know, in the story. You know what, I'm gonna put it out there. Like I've got it written, right? But anyway, since I'm here, if there is anything that you guys want to talk about or go through right now, I am literally ready to have a spliff and we can go through. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Michael. I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm gonna have to definitely ensure that everybody knows that when you're hearing one of my stories to relax a lot so that you can feel it and really get into it. How many of you felt it though? I know Virgin, you said that you felt it. How many of you felt the vibrations and the tingles as the story went through? Let me know. Hi, David. Hi, sweetheart. Let me know. Well, with the cat, I felt like she was her own story altogether. Both of them are their own story altogether, Jessica. I tell you that much. Virgin, you totally felt it? Oh, Jennifer, you could feel it? Yeah, this is some good stuff, right? But, no, like, I could write a book on both of these characters before they even met. You felt it, Michael? Awesome. I'm glad you did. And for all the guys out there, when it came to the love scene, right? Do that. Do what that guy did in there, and you can never go wrong, I tell you that much. Virgin, you want to live a life like that? Full of weaponry and skill? Well, you know what? Why the frick not? I think that's a wonderful life to live, and I'm definitely trying to remember all of my kung fu and tai chi and all that jazz. My training is kicked up a notch. Right, my dears. It was a much more shorter version, but I'll open it up to you guys. Any other questions or queries that you have for me while I'm here? Because I'm just literally going to be here smoking a bit of a spliff, and we'll see what we got. You love the love scene, Michael? Yeah, well, tell me what you guys think, because I was going to go with, of course, how to make love to a man's heart next. And with that, I actually wanted to, I was speaking to Kulipup, right? And I told him, I'm like, I think I would not mind writing and tell me what you guys think here, but an erotic story to help couples guide themselves through a fantastic lovemaking session. Using energy, using passion, using your focus, So whilst you're reading or listening to the story, you can kind of reenact what's going on. And don't get me wrong, there's going to be no backflips and kung fu and shit in it. So it's going to be for everybody else, but something to really help you guys connect with each other. Because what this story has that is lacking so much, yes, wonderful, excellent. If you are cool with it, I will totally make one. Because again, what I find that is so much with couples, whether you're married, whether you're, just having a moment together, is that there is such a lack of intimacy. Such a lack of intimacy. And it's always just about the physical act of sex. Just sex. And it's just like, nah. If you guys can be guided on truly how to connect with your energy and make love, that desire that you may have felt in the story as I was reading it, it hits you tenfold when you can make love with your energy, right? And when you can make love with compassion and with focus. It's beautiful. So I definitely would love to, if you're cool with that, I'll totally make one. You guys are going to be like, oh shit, Kulipup, you got a lot of stuff in your mind. I'm like, yep, I do. So, anywho, then, I suppose if there's no longer any more questions or queries or anything like that, I will say good night for now. Or perhaps if I can come back, I will come back a little bit later. It will be a little bit later, maybe in about an hour to an hour and a half, and I will do a lesson on how you can make love to a man's heart, because that is something I definitely need to do. I know there's going to be some ladies or some people, for ladies and gents, for some people who will be unable to watch it because it is really, really late. However, I definitely think we've already done how to make love to a woman's heart for the men. So for the ladies, if we can get in touch with how to make love to our men's hearts, then literally we just making love all over the place and feeling the wonderful benefits of it. Virgin, I can prepare for my future live when I find him. Definitely. I love it. Let's Avishtal feel like a good twist too would be on chapter on succumbus and incumbus. Explaining differences and how they develop their love against it. Definitely, because you guys just got a little hint of the passion between that moment. But a love like that, a love that is so strong that can shake the earth, right? That kind of love takes development. That kind of love takes time and commitment to each other, to understand each other, right? To know each other inside and out. To get that core deep vibration hit you with only just a whisper of your words, right? Oh, thank you so much, Luke House. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, sweetheart. Thank you for joining us. Righto. So, you know what then? What I'll do is I will love you and leave you for now. We'll let some other people come on board and listen to this story. And connect and so forth. And then I'll go get a cup of tea and everything, and I'll come back at you with how to make love to a man's heart, because now you got me riled up. So I am going to come back at that. And don't worry, if you miss it, you can always get the replay for it tomorrow. Alrighty. Mwah. I'll see you guys very shortly. Bye, sweetheart.